They all start. Wow, they start at 62.
Good. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca. This is Kristen, Kiana, and Rachel. Today we'll be talking to you about recruitment. I will specifically be going into the 4 steps of recruitment. Kristen will continue with the job applicant perspective. Kiana will go into crucial issues of targeted recruitment and the recruitment message. And Rachel will finish with recruitment methods. So the recruitment process involves identifying who should be recruited, reaching targeted individuals, determining the best timing, designing a message, evaluating efforts, and managing the entire recruitment operation as a whole. In order to hire the best candidate possible, you first must recruit. You cannot interview or hire until you recruit. However, recruitment is difficult even in a recession because it is such an in-depth process. If it's not done correctly, an unqualified person may be selected for the position. Many companies use poorly designed processes, which can lead to missing attractive candidates and even candidates that work for competitors. This is because they didn't even know about the position that was available. A company might once again select an unqualified person. We will focus on external recruitment today, which includes recruiting candidates that are outside of the organization instead of promoting current employees to that position. These actions determine whether outsiders apply and accept a future offer. There are 4 main steps to the recruitment process. 1, you want to start with establishing your objectives. 2, you want to develop your strategy. 3, carry out the activities and advertise. 4, evaluate your results. In order to have a successful recruitment, the HR manager must follow these 4 steps. So first, we need to establish our objectives, such as the number of positions that are open, the time frame you'll be recruiting, the job performance goals you're looking for in an employee, and most importantly, what type of applicant you are specifically seeking to fill that position. It is important to seek advice and valuable input from others in the company and especially the management. This gives you more detail and improves the process because you have more opinions going into it. This also creates allies and gives you a support system to lean on throughout the process. A company should create an employment brand. This should establish values that you're seeking in an applicant. These values should match those of your company. These values should be highlighted on your website, at a career fair, or any posts and flyers you put out for the recruitment. This creates beneficial outcomes in the end. Moving into step 2, you must establish a specific plan of action and work together using talent acquisition supply chain research, which helps you make the best possible decision. This helps you figure out not only the number, but also the quality of the applicants that you're searching for. This then helps you create questions to ask yourself, such as, what type of individuals am I looking for? Where can I find these people? When should my recruitment begin? What type of recruiter should I use? And what should the job offer entail? Step 3. Now it's time to advertise the position that you're seeking to fill. You can use this using a career website such as LinkedIn or Indeed.com, or visit a career fair like the ones we have here at Rowan every semester. Whatever fits into your strategy best is the one that you should use. Lastly, but certainly not least, is step 4, evaluating your recruitment process. Above are a few things that companies should look at, such as the cost of their recruitment process. However, many companies do not formally evaluate their efforts, which becomes a huge problem for the future. Many companies may not evaluate because they either collect too much data that's insignificant and they become overwhelmed or feel like they're drowning and end up giving up in the end. Or the company does not gather any information at all or review anything, which causes problems for future processes. This step is so crucial in the success of the business. They're able to learn from past mistakes and create improvements to help the future. After this presentation, we all have to fill out evaluation forms so that we can learn what we did right and what we did wrong to help us improve for future presentations. There are two crucial goals in evaluation. First, you should share the information about recruitment outcomes with your staff so they can learn and modify their own methods. Two, you need to demonstrate to the management what they are doing correct and what is valuable that they're doing to the company so they can continue. To make it easier nowadays, many HR managers have used computerized applicant tracking systems. This makes it a lot easier to keep track of your data, and many managers find that they don't feel overwhelmed. However, this can be very pricey, and many companies have refused to invest in it, but it is beneficial in the end. I'd like to conclude with a personal story of an example of no effort being put into recruitment. Over the summer, I worked at a golf course, and my manager posted, "We're hiring" on Facebook, but absolutely no details about the position. People started commenting, asking for further information, so I asked my manager if I could repost with the actual details that are needed. We have so many different positions, such as in the restaurant, we have bartenders, waitresses, hostess, and chefs. And on the golf course, we have bartenders, cart girls, pro shop employees, and rangers. So these are all different jobs that all require different experience, and you need to post specifically what you're looking for. Thank you for giving me your attention. I'm going to pass it over to Kristen.
Hey guys, I'm Kristen, and I'm going to be talking about the job applicant perspective. Let's switch it. So this project focuses primarily on the recruitment process from the employer side, but it's important to keep in mind and be sensitive to the job applicant perspective. Attracting attention of the people you want to recruit is vital to the success of recruitment. Getting that attention can be difficult because you may not know how to reach some people, including those working for competitors. Those are like the main people you want to be applying to your positions because they have the experience and they just may not be available at the time. Even if you do not reach them, they may not pay attention. So you have to get creative. You can use billboards and ads to get the attention of people that are in other positions with competitors. A key variable that reflects the job applicant's recruitment is generating individual interest in a job opening. In order to generate interest in an organization should emphasize the attractiveness of the position while also advertising the expectations. These variables can attract interest. There are two key variables that can influence a prospective recruiter's interest in a job opening. First consists of job duties, coworkers, possible coworkers, advancement opportunities, compensation, benefits, and location. You should target people who are likely to be attracted to what you are offering. For example, older employees aren't really looking for job opportunities. They're more focused on job security, whereas the younger generation will be focused on job opportunities and career advancement. So over the summer, I worked at a bank and I was not happy there. So I decided to look for a new job, and I focused looking for stuff that had higher wages and still focused on location and benefits, but also since I was younger, I was looking for room and growth. So I found this at TD Bank. I've been at TD Bank now for 4 months. They gave me an internship opportunity, a pay increase. I get a bonus quarterly. And it was a simple application process. They showed me they were interested. They reached out to me multiple times, and the application process was simple. The second variable is the expectation of receiving a job offer. People who believe that they're more likely to be offered a job are more likely to apply and continue through the recruitment process. Job applicants may be intimidated by too much competition. This is not true in all cases. Some people will still apply if they're unqualified. Also, job applicants' related variables that may affect the process include attracting attention of targeted individuals, generating interest in the job, accuracy of the application, position, expectations, and applicant decision-making process. It's important for an organization to make job openings appear as attractive as possible, but this recruitment approach could be risky. As a job applicant became more informed, recruits who were initially interested may withdraw from your organization, and this can be an issue. Some recruits with unrealistic positive expectations may not become aware of what things really are like until they are hired. These individuals are more likely to quit their job than a new hire with the realistic expectations of the job duties. In order to avoid high turnover rates in new hires, you should increase the accuracy of the job expectations instead of inflating them. Providing realistic expectations can result in hiring the best applicant for your position. If realistic, the new hire knows what to expect and what they're required to do. The applicant decision-making process may be the most important variable that can affect the recruitment process. 3 major decisions for a job applicant include decision to apply, decision to remain a candidate, and decision to accept a job offer if given. Decision-making for the job applicant is the hardest part. A prospective job candidate is actively making many decisions, including whether to apply. Factors such as ease with which one can apply for the position is proven to make applicants more likely to apply. If it is a short and simple process, applicants are more likely to just upload their resume and send in the application, whereas if they had to fill it all in themselves. So these are some quotes from applicants that decided to withdraw their. And the final major decision job candidate makes is whether to accept the job or not. Clearly, the attractiveness of a position is a major determinant, but other factors can apply. Some factors that may swing a job applicant's decision include treatment by the recruiter during the process and time. The time frame for accepting an offer can be important because often a person may not want to make a decision until they heard from other employers. The job applicant decision-making process is influenced by their perception of the position's attractiveness, the likelihood of receiving a job offer, a sense of how well they will fit the position, and whether the time frame meets their needs. These perceptions can change over time depending upon new research. Evaluating the recruitment process can help an organization recruit better in the future. For example, if several applicants withdrew during the organization knows to start the process earlier and make more time to give job offers in the future. Similarly, if new hires complain that their website submitting resume was difficult, the organization can change it to just have them upload a resume. After this review of the job applicant point of view, you should see several factors to consider planning the recruitment process. Acknowledging the job applicant point of view can help an organization determine who is best. It also allows you to accept qualified people.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Kiana Moore, and today I will be presenting about whom to recruit, the crucial issue of targeted recruitment and the recruitment message. Okay, so the first step on figuring out whom to recruit is to ask that very question, and then how you answer whom to recruit will affect how your organization publicizes the position, what recruitment message you are communicating, and who your recruiters are. Being aware of these answers is the key step in starting a targeted recruitment. If your organization does not directly address the people you want to target, it runs the risk of missing the very individuals who would make the most desirable employees for your company, including the passive job seekers. Typically, an organization focuses on skills, experiences, education, and other work-related attributes of those that they want to hire. Such a narrow focus is common within most businesses, but employers would benefit from a more broad focus. So they could ask more things that would be able to see people's values that could fit into their culture. So two interesting factors to consider are a job candidate's understanding of what a position entails or their position insight, and a candidate's awareness of his or her own talents and interests for their self-insight. This helps to differentiate which candidates would be the best fit for a company. This table illustrates the rehiring former employees is likely to result in new hires with the best position insight and their self-insight. So former employees have the advantages of needing less transition time to perform acceptably. They need less training, they're less likely to quit, and they send a good message to new hires that it's a good place to be for work. Because of firsthand experience doing the job and or working for an organization, others who are likely to have considerable insight are former interns. Temporary workers and those who have worked in similar jobs for other employers are also good as well. So recruits who have family members or friends that work for the organization also should have greater insight into the workings of a firm rather than people who lack such a connection because they're already somewhat aware of company's values and how they run their company. So they're a little bit more prepared than others who have no insight. So a personal story for me, I ended up getting a job at the same bank that Kristen worked at, that she was unhappy at, that I was too. But knowing her actually helped me in a sense because I already had insight of how the company ran their training and their values and how things went there. So knowing her gave me one up on other people who didn't really have banking experience or any insight on the company itself. So also geographical factors can influence an organization's decisions on targeted recruitment, such as unemployment rate. So for example, the city of Denver was having a difficult time filling job openings in its police department. And when they heard that Detroit police had announced layoffs, Denver sent recruits to Detroit to administer its police exam. So next, I'll be talking about the recruitment message. The recruitment message or job advertisement can have a major impact on whether people apply or accept jobs and whether new recruits remain after they are already hired for a new position. So the first step in creating the recruitment message is to ask these 3 questions to make sure that the message reaches its fullest potential. So first, you want to ask yourself, does the message present information that's important to your target group? Next, you want to ask, is the information specific? And then you want to ask, is the information realistic? Certain information in any recruitment message is essential, including details about duties, locations, and benefits. However, if you are targeting certain types of people, you should be sensitive to their unique information needs. For example, many seniors only apply for part-time positions, and adults with young children may be interested in the possibility of working from home. Some of the unique information needs of targeted recruits can be addressed in later stages of the process, but in some cases, potential people won't even apply for a position if they don't have that particular information prior to applying, such as part-time work or working from home. Being specific is the second key dimension of the recruitment message. More specific information can prevent people from submitting applications, but these would be people that were going to be unlikely to accept the job anyway. On the other hand, being specific can also add people to the application pool who wouldn't have thought to apply beforehand. Many organizations have tried to convey not only positive but realistic information. If job applicants have realistic expectations, studies show that there will be lower turnover rates, better performances, higher job satisfaction, and greater trust in the organization. To get applicants with realistic expectations, you can use targeted recruitment or realistic job previews. Although these previews are frequently discussed in terms of a one-time event, such as providing applicants with a booklet that describes the job, they are better conceived as a process where an employer helps a job candidate understand what a position truly involves. Usually, an employer may provide a candid description of a job opening on a website along with a description of the organization. Additional information may be provided in a phone interview during a tour of the worksite or in conversations with prospective coworkers and supervisors. Although providing realistic job information can result in some desirable individuals withdrawing as candidates, this should not be viewed as negative. It is quite likely that such individuals would have been unhappy if hired into a job that didn't meet their expectations, resulting in turnover once again or low levels of motivation among the new employees. Overall, it is important to display properly targeted and realistic messages to attract candidates that will best represent your company and will be eager to work hard for you.
Can you pause that for a second?
Yeah.
Sorry about my phone thing.
I'll just go.
The Zappos does something very interesting with respect to missed hires, in that everybody is offered $3,000 if they'll quit during their first 2 weeks. So they get people in. If you don't think we're fit, just leave, and we will pay you to leave because we don't want you here either. It's an exciting and interesting concept.
Well, don't they interview them and like they have to go through like a day of interviews, like one of them's like a phone call.
Oh yeah, they have a very intensive fit.
Yeah, and then they go through a 3-week training and then they offer that.
And then after the training, is that what it is? Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, anyway, so I thought of that when you were saying it.
You're good. I'm just gonna pass it on to Rachel now. Just go ahead and
Alright, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel DeGrossa, and I will be discussing the topic of how to reach targeted employees and social media recruiting. First, I will define a recruiter, as well as explain the 4 different types of recruiter, and then I will go into where you should recruit employees on social media and how to reach them on social media. So a recruiter is defined as a person whose job is to enlist and enroll people as employees as members of an organization. Recruiters use similar sources such as professional organizations, websites, and other methods that we'll discuss in this presentation. Recruiters are excellent at networking and usually attend many events where possible candidates will be present. So the first type of recruiter I'm going to talk about is an executive search firm recruiter. So this is where like high-end companies such as Apple, Amazon, Target, they rely on these types of recruiters to bring them qualified candidates who meet the job descriptions to fill their high-level positions such as management and CEO. So temporary and staffing recruitment is an entity that has employees that can be hired out of temporary or just for like long-term work. So for example, if you have a receptionist who needs to be on medical leave, these staffing firms can help you give or hire an employee that is already qualified, is already ready to go, and knows that they're only going to be on a short contract. So a corporate recruiter is someone and an employee who focuses entirely on hiring specifically for their corporation. Corporate recruiters are employed by the company, and they usually focus on hiring in a certain department, maybe accounting, maybe finance. They're tasked with distributing job postings and taking applications, resumes, and sourcing candidates. The fourth and final is contingent. They are paid only when the recruiter starts working, which is often the case in de-staffing recruiters, which I talked about previously. And a retained recruiter gets paid upfront, either in portion or in full fee, and to perform the specific search for a company. So colleges and universities can be an excellent way to source new candidates, usually at the entry-level positions. Most organizations use their campus recruiting programs to develop new talent who will develop into managers. For this type of program to work, it requires a lot of establishment and relationships with campus communities, such as career services, job fairs, etc. So just a quick personal story, I actually work downstairs in the Center for Professional Development. I deal with a lot of recruiters who are specifically just campus recruiters. They come, they want to do employer residence, which is a series we have where they can like network and note with our students. And they come specifically because they want to hire enrolling students. It's a great way to network with these people and really build that relationship with the campus. Labor unions can also be an excellent source of candidates. Some unions allow job postings on their website. And the key to this is a successful recruitment strategy is to identify the organizations that relate to your business and develop relationships with members in these organizations. This type of networking can help introduce you to people in your industry who may be looking for a job. So from an HR perspective, it's effective and very inexpensive to post on certain websites to target employees. So many organizations combat these types of websites by applying or uploading on CareerBuilder, Indeed, Monster, Glassdoor. There's even some for like Monster College as well. So now I'm going to get into social media. So in this era of technology and social media, it's becoming very popular for companies to create their own profiles and even recruit on social media. I will be discussing the most common socials, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as how social media can save a lot of money on recruitment.
Okay, pause it. All right. Now, read your next slide stuff to yourself, then you're gonna put your paper down and talk to us without the paper.
Okay.
Because you got this.
Okay. Okay.
We're all rooting for you.
So recruiting on social media is extremely inexpensive. There is almost no cost because it is free to sign up for most socials. So you really don't have to worry about, that recruiting budget that is highly in most companies. A lot of corporations and websites use social media because it is so inexpensive, and the money that you save can be allocated into other maybe departments within the company.
I don't think your slideshow's starting.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So this slide specifically talks about how social media recruiting can also be creative. So this specifically isn't the one I'm going to talk about, it's just a little funny thing. But there is a company, it's called Campbell Mithun, they're an advertising agency, and they actually had an intern program where the application process was to tweet 13 tweets over 13 days, and they picked them through the most creative tweets. To post on LinkedIn, it's very ineffective, and you want to make sure that you can screen on LinkedIn, which is really nice. You can kind of see like a full profile picture, where they worked, resume, and it's really helpful. Facebook and Twitter allow job postings on their website through Facebook Marketplace, kind of the same ideals as LinkedIn. You can kind of see the full screening before you actually meet them. It's also important as a potential candidate to have a clean social media. So this graph here just shows which socials are most popular. You can see that LinkedIn is the most popular because it is almost the business Facebook, as a lot of people like to call it. Facebook comes in by a close second, and then Twitter with a third, and then Google and just internet. And YouTube is used a lot by companies for kind of just like you can see advertisements a lot as well. So this was actually a research study that SHRM conducted. It says the effectiveness of social media recruiting and decreasing time to fill positions. So you can see that 71% of employers said it was effective, decreased non-management salary positions, and 67% for just like non-management regular positions. So the perfect profile page, what you want to look for, what I said before, just a clean profile. You want to make sure they have a professional picture, like selfie, at least some detailed work experience that relates to the job description that you are hiring for, as well as just work education, and especially education. So just a summary, social recruiting is very beneficial, inexpensive, and can really increase your budget if needed, as well as making sure that your candidates are the people that you want to hire. You can tell a lot by someone's social profile, and social media recruiting is a great way to screen your applicants before actually bringing them in for the application process. And with that, Becca, Kristen, Kiana, and myself would like to thank you for listening to our presentation, and we hope you learned a lot more about recruitment.
There he is. Wow. You guys are skills and do shit because of it's whatsoever.
I like colorful ones. I like them.
Well, I guess I'll see. Yeah, you did.
You did so good.
All right. Yeah. Sit back here and do nothing, can I?